I'm Sweet Paul, and I'm the editor-in-chief of Sweet Paul magazine. My motto is chasing the sweet things in life. I even have it tattooed on my body. And it's to remind me that life is short and you should have fun and you should enjoy life and just do the things that really makes you happy. Like my grandmother always said, perfection is boring. If I can take something that you already have around the house, spend a little time, spend a little money, people come in and say, oh my God, where did you get that? Some high-end store? And you can say, no, I made it myself. That for me is the perfect craft project. I am Sweet Paul, and today we're gonna have some fun. I know all of you have like an old box, you know, in the attic or the basement filled with old photos, and you don't really know what to do with them. And I'm gonna show you some fun things that you can do with them. I have a selection of photos here. I'm saving them, I look at them. My goal is to actually fill a whole wall with these photos one day. So we're gonna have some fun, so follow me. So here's what you need. You will need old photos. I'm using the real ones, but if you want, you can take photocopies. Just use a little, you know, a thicker craft paper when you print them out. I'm using a wood wreath. This is from a local craft store. It's about $10. Pair of scissors. Of course, my hot glue gun. So what you need to do is that you need to start placing your photos on top of the wreath. And I'm using old black and white photos, but you know, they all have like a different little tint in them, which I think is so beautiful. So you can mix the photos, you can use any type, you know, if you want to mix black and white, if you want to mix colors, whatever you want to do. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of placing the images on top of each other, trying to find like a nice way to use them. So I'm doing the larger photos underneath, and then I'm adding the smaller ones on top. And that's a good way to sort of to fill in the wreath. Oh, these photos are so cute. A very adorable family, I must say. There's a picture of her grandmother when she was young. She's going to be very happy with this, I think. Ooh, this is from a boat. Let's see, I think something like that looks really good. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start to glue. I'll start on one side, add a little hot glue, put it on the wreath. And the reason I'm using hot glue is that it dries in seconds. I love hot glue. It's my favorite thing. So start by gluing the big ones, and then you can glue the smaller ones on top. And if the images are a little too big, you can always cut them down to size. Like I need a small one right here, but like this one is a little big, so I'm gonna, sorry Uncle Charlie, I'm gonna try not to cut off your head. Like that. And this handsome man, he has a very nice haircut. And it's from 1944. So I'm using a hot glue gun because it only takes a few seconds for the glue to dry, which is perfect for someone like me who's very impatient. And this is great, you know, as I'm doing now, for a birthday gift, or you know, for Christmas. You can do it with old Christmas photos, like anniversary, a wedding. I think this is such a unique, creative idea for the, you know, all those old photos you have in that shoebox in the attic that we all, well, not that I have an attic, I don't, because I live in Brooklyn and we don't have that, but, you know, if you have one. I love this woman here. Let's put her on top. It's actually the grandmother herself, so she needs to be shown. There we go. And then, you know, if some of the edges are sticking up, you just take a little glue, back of your photos, just a little bit, and glue it down. And you see how fast it glues it. Just takes seconds. That's what I love about it. I think this is good. Let's have a look. Oh, that's really cute. I like it. So here we go. A wreath of memories for Donna's grandmother. I love having a good party and I love sending out invitations. But you know, like customary stationery can be really expensive, so I decided to make my own. So I'm going to use some photos that I printed out, but let's say you want to do like a wedding invitation or an anniversary photos, you can use your old family photos and just copy them up and use those. So what you're going to need are envelopes. You're going to need photocopies of whatever image you want, paper glue, and a pair of scissors. What you need to do first is to make a template. So I'm going to take an envelope and I'm going to cut it apart. I'm simply going to cut up the sides, just like this. And this is going to be my template for the liners. And you can of course do this with any size envelope. I'm just using a standard size envelope. So this is your template. So you take a photo. I printed out some beautiful peonies here. You place your template on top of the photo and you simply gonna cut around the template like this. This is really easy because the sides are perfectly straight here. So I'm just going to follow the sides down. And then I'm going to make sure that it's about the perfect size. So I'm going to cut this off because it's a little long. Like that. So I'm going to take an envelope, open it up. I'm going to take my liner. I'm going to put my liner inside the envelope. And I'm going to take it to where the glue around stops. So once I have that in a perfect position, I'm going to take some paper glue and I'm just going to add a little glue around here, just enough to keep it in place. And then I am simply going to fold it over, but the envelope naturally is folded. And you open it up and then you have a beautiful custom lined envelope for like pennies. And the great thing is, you know, you can, if it's a kid's party, you can put the picture of a kid in here. You can put your dog. If it's an anniversary party, you can put like the bride and groom. It's such a fun little project. So now I have to have a party. So I'm going to make some vases and flower pots. It's kind of a silly little project, but it's really fun. I'm going to use some kids' faces, and I'm going to put them on the flower pots, and then the plants will sort of create the hair on the kids. It's really cute. So what you need is water slide decal paper. And I have printed out some pretty little kids' hair on the paper that I'm going to cut out. You need a pot with a straight edge, a pair of scissors, a bowl of water, and some plants. So what I've done is that I printed out these cute kids on the water slide decal paper, and I'm going to cut them out. So I'm going to start to cut out all around the silhouette and try to make it as close as you can to the person without cutting off, like, you don't want to cut off an ear or something. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. So the laser tran paper you can find in any craft store. You can order them online, and the great thing is that you don't have to have a specialty tool. You can just use your printer at home to print out on like this. So I can do like that. So that's my cutout. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this in water, in a bowl of water, and what the water does is that it actually takes it from a piece of paper to a real decal. So I'm going to put that in, and it takes about 30 seconds. So the water creates a decal out of this, and it's finished when you see the top moves away from the paper. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to place my flower pot like this, and then I'm just going to hold the decal on top here, and I'm very gently just going to remove the paper underneath. How easy is that? And with my hands, I'm just going to stretch it out like this, and I'm going to take a piece of tissue paper, and I'm just going to rub off any excess ink that you might get. And then when I'm done, when this is dry, I'm just going to trim the edge with a pair of scissors. That's cute, right? So now that it's dry, we're going to add some hair. So let's give this girl a little hairdo like that. And then I made her a friend, this one. Let's give her a little hairdo too. Ah, so cute. And then I made a matching vase with this little guy. And this is such a fun, silly little project that you can do with your kids. Makes great gifts. My own little step pillow. Cute, right? So you need transfer paper for your home printer. This is right here. And you can buy that online or any craft store, anything like that. I already printed out my beautiful dog. This is Lestat. He's my best friend. I have white 16 by 16 pillowcases. I also have inserts under here. You need a pair of scissors, an ironing board, and an iron. I'm going to simply start by cutting out. I'm going to start by cutting out Lestat. So I'm just cutting around his profile. And this picture is actually a picture that I used for my magazine. He was a model. Between you and me, he wasn't the best model. He wouldn't really sit still, so the photographer got like one shot, but happily it was, one good shot. So I'm just cutting it out. And if you don't have a printer at home, you can always take the paper to a printing place and they will gladly print out your photos for you. Okay, around his little nose. And just get as close to the image as you can, you know, without cutting into the image. And I will tell you, I'm so excited to show Lestat this pillow. He's such a good boy. He's really an amazing dog. He's a French bulldog, by the way, and he is 8 years old. And he just got a brother a year ago called Hugo, and they are now best friends. Here we go. So here I have the cutout. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take my pillowcase. I'm gonna put it on top of the ironing board. I'm gonna move everything over so I have a little workspace. And what I want to do, I'm not gonna put him in the middle like that. I think that's a little too obvious. I'm actually gonna put him a little bit on the edge, like this. I think that's fun. What to remember, of course, to flip it over, because you need to iron on the white side. The paper comes with instructions, so don't worry about it. You will figure that out. So I'm putting it on top like this. Now I'm going to take my iron, make sure it's not too warm. Keep it on wool. And then with firm pressure, I'm going to oh, and you have to turn off the steam. No steam. So now I am going to start to iron on the image. And you can do this on, you know, on pillows, tote bags, you know, bed linen. You can make his and hers, you know, pillows. It's actually really fun. And you know, you can, I'm doing it with my pet, but you know, if you have kids, you can do it with your kids, and you can make like a family portrait on the couch. Okay, so it needs about a couple of minutes with the heat. And just pressure down so it really sticks to the fabric. I think this actually is good now. So what you need to do is simply wave it around a little to let it cool down. And this is the fun part. So you find an edge, like down here, and you're gonna remove the paper. Oh, here we go. And you just remove slow, like this. You see, it's coming off really easy. Here's Lestat, looking good. Voila! How fun is that? There we have Lestat. Looks good, right? And now I'm gonna put the insert in. And I have to take this one home. This has to be Lestat's pillow. He actually likes to lie on a pillow on top of the couch. He's kind of high maintenance, but don't tell him that I said so. Close it down. Just like that. And there we go. My own little Lestat pillow. Cute, right? And you know, this is great for other things too, like a tote bag. I made one earlier. This is Lestat's friend. His name is Spot. They're very good friends. So here we have Lestat and Spot together. This project is a fun way to get some personality and uniqueness to something that you already have around the house. You can use them in the kitchen, or a chest of drawers, or a jewelry box. So what you need for this project are some knobs that has a flat surface. You need print out of a photo, scissors, a pen, Mod Podge, and a brush. And something with drawers. I'm using a small chest of drawers. What I'm going to do is that I printed out an old family photo. I blown it up a little bit and I printed it out on my home computer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knob. I'm going to turn the paper upside down. I can still see through it, so I can see where the faces are, because that's what I want to use. So I'm going to put the knob on top of a face like this. I'm going to trace around with a pen like that, and then I'm going to cut it out. And you know, I'm using a photocopy of an old photo. You can use real photos, you can use like your kids, your dog, whatever you want. The only thing you have to think about is that the knob has to have a flat surface. Otherwise it's a little difficult to do. So, I have my little face. And then I'm going to open up my Mod Podge here, and I'm actually using the matte one. I like that one the best. So I'm going to place a layer of the Mod Podge on top of the knob like this. I'm going to add my little face on top like this. And then I'm going to add a little more Mod Podge on top. And what the Mod Podge does is that, I'll try to say Mod Podge three times after each other, it's impossible. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a small layer on top of here. And don't worry, because you see now it looks all like white and streaky, and don't worry about that, because that will actually dry, and if it dries really pretty. Like that. And when it's done, it looks something like this. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go over to my chest of drawers. I'm going to remove one of the old, very boring knobs. And then I'm going to add some uniqueness. So I'm going to screw this on. Just make sure the face is up. And there you go. Your very own unique chest of drawers. And you know, you can do this with any furniture. You can think big, you know, big chest of drawers, a nightstand, your kitchen cabinets, whatever works for you.